but honestly, there's a chance he didn't. There's a
No,
chance
he
he hasn't.
started.
No, I started right now.
Maybe he did.
No, I started right
Okay.
now.
Wow. So we don't have any cool little
No.
thing like last time.
No, there's no interesting backstory. There's no lore. It's just Hunter asking. Maybe he did. Maybe he didn't start it, or maybe he did. That's it.
He did. I'm wrong.
Yeah. Oh,
The gaslighting. Just is it started or is it not? Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z.
find out next time on this podcast.
For the
There's no
love
next
of
time,
pride.
only now.
I'm not prepared. This is the first time I'm actually not prepared coming into this.
Me
Really?
neither. I'm winging it. I'm just here for the vibes. I don't know what's happening.
Hey, I mean, that's exactly what we kind of want our guests to come. Holy fuck, I can't speak.
Let's go.
That's
See, this is
exactly
what
how we
happens.
want our guests to come into it.
I put this man through a 30-minute content piece, and now
Yeah.
I cannot speak.
No, he put me through a 40-minute content piece. I
Yeah,
had just
we're probably
gotten
still
home. Like, I quickly made myself food. And during, like, the first 10 minutes of it, I think I was eating.
You were. I'm like, this will be fine.
Yeah, no, because that's not the most insane thing that I fucking did or said during that entire thing.
100%. You are correct.
Yeah. All right, but anyway, let's get on with our normal show here, I guess. Welcome back, everyone, to For the Love of Prod, episode number 13. As always, we are joined by Huntertain, Megalass, and our guest this week is HanaSophie. Hana, thank you. Thank you so much for being here, and Mega, thank you so much for asking Hana to come on.
Thank you. This wasn't the message I was expecting at 2 a.m. last night, but it could have been worse. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, I mean...
I'm just happy you accepted because my backup plan was to DM in the Fletch, but I think it's funnier if we just keep edging Fletch. Like it's just he never shows up.
I don't think he watched this, so it's not like we're really edging him.
I don't think he does.
Don't worry, Headrunner will be up tomorrow.
See, that was also becoming the backup plan. Was maybe Fletch will come, but nah.
No,
We'll keep them waiting.
Your backup plan was Spec.
Again,
was
don't
guy.
bring that guy on again. He sucks.
To be fair, it made sense the fact that we were already recording. It's like, all right, well, we just go back to back, and I don't gotta change anything.
Here, wait. Since we just finished recording something with Spec, Hana,
Did.
is there any slander you want to throw Spec's way, just so we can get this out of the way early on?
True.
Oh, I actually like Spectrion, so I think he's really cool. He's a
His
cool guy. He's like
ego's
Diamond
inflated.
though. That's what I have to say. But he's cool. I like him. He's a great caster. Does a great job. Represents Britain. And yeah, I actually have nothing. Usually, I have something to say negative about people, but I've only ever had positive interactions with Spectrions. So this is the Spectrion Glaze segment of the episode today.
Mm.
It is not going to be a recurring segment, ladies and gentlemen.
No, not at all. Not at all. We had Person in here before Hana joined in, and we basically said it's been about 2 months since we've had their slander session of the week, but it's just we've been bringing on people who don't know who Person is.
Yeah, I don't know who Person is. I'm sure they're great.
What if that's the slander itself? Nobody knows Person. He's just irrelevant.
Yeah, they're just irrelevant. Yeah,
I mean,
the slander I can give.
So is the majority of the state that he lives in. Let's be honest. He lives in Kansas. Outside of Kansas City, what else is there?
Corn.
The Wizard of Oz.
Okay, so listen. We're slandering people. Dex, do you want to start the thing where we talk about the production and esports? Like we're just talking about slander at this point.
I mean, it's fun though.
Hey, listen.
We'll
I figured I would fill the role of seeing about being on track since you were having fun. I figured I would ruin the fun for once.
That's perfectly fair. Okay, yeah, but Mega's right. We normally ask 2 questions to our guests every week, and then after that, it's whatever kind of goes. Hana, we kind of
Maybe I should have revised.
Yeah, we kind of gave you the rundown last night or early yesterday morning for you now, since it is technically Wednesday. Or no, holy fucking shit. It's technically Tuesday for you now.
It is Tuesday, yeah.
Yep. But so Hana, we just want to know what got you into doing stuff with esports.
an ex-boyfriend. Basically, he was like, "I want to play Overwatch," and I was like, "Sure." And I was a console player back in the day. I actually got into esports through CGL, which is cool, in like 2020. And I was like gold. I was really bad. But there's some really, really deep lore of how I like played in a console league that was so terrible that me and my friends decided to like run our own one. And that was the first time I ever ran or did anything in esports. Was just because some people were so like cliented that we were just like, fine, I'll do it myself, you know. And then like the UK equivalent of collegiate kind of forced me onto PC, and started tweeting things. And yeah, I went from there really. Just I ended up doing like social media management for Double Cross Esports when I was playing on a team in their org. And then that progressed to Sheer Cold. So Sheer Cold was like kind of the first taste I had of like proper competitive esports. This was like a job interview. I'm sorry, I'm just like listing off achievements.
No, it's fine. I mean, it's how you got in.
And mine's really boring. I feel like I took quite a conventional route. I just started volunteering and then kind of progressed, and now I'm doing side quests every so often and just like do prod stuff now. I don't really know how that happened. So yeah, that's it. It's really boring.
No, I mean that's not the boringest. I think mine might be the boringest. Just like, oh yeah, I tried out for my college's team, failed, became a caster.
Oh.
That's it.
I love that. I just got here because everyone else sucked, and I was just like, yeah, I'll just try to do it myself. I don't know.
I'm the other way. I am literally quoted in my college's town's newspaper saying, "Oh, like after the trial, like, oh God, I suck."
Oh no.
It is quoted in a newspaper.
It's amazing.
But I mean, so that got you in. We know kind of stuff you do with prod. We know kind of stuff you do with graphics, because you did actually make the graphic for.
I did.
For our attempt at making like the lowest tier of Face It, which
I remember Spectrion messaging me asking me to do that, and he gave me the date, and I was like, oh, it's okay, I have time, And then I realized that date was like 1 a.m. of that day, so I had like 2 hours, and I just had to like lock in on Photoshop. So yeah. That's my Spectrion flame.
Yeah,
it was a lot of fun.
I mean, and thank you for doing that again. Like, outside of throwing that idea out there, I kind of just said like, hey, we don't need to do anything big. We don't need to do anything like, say, an announcement like that. But there were a lot of people on the team who were like, yeah, let's potentially do something, because I think up until like 2 hours before signups close, it's like, oh yeah, if you play in it, you're gonna qualify.
Oh, brilliant! How did you guys end up doing?
Oh, we got killed.
Games?
We got killed.
Oh, we were fine.
I don't think we took a map.
No, it was a fast 3-0 and then move on. It took about 35 minutes.
That's so sad.
It's what we expect. To be fair, it's kind of what we expected. We had scrimmed once against a team who you could kind of tell they were not necessarily trying their hardest.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That sounds similar to my Face It experience. No, I never did Face It. I played in Flash Ops, and in one of my games, we got against like Senna and Arent. That didn't go great, as you can imagine. Blueberry Busters, I think they were called. It was a Raspberry Racers play on words, and we played against Blueberry Busters, and that kind of destroyed our hopes of doing anything at Flash Ops.
That's the trick to Flash Ops, though. You have to just go in and just realize, yeah, it's going to be fun, but it will be short.
Yes.
But, I mean, because, speaking of other stuff you have done, I'm stealing it from Dex here. I'm just taking the show. But you somehow were running the recently for the CAW events. There was no official stream. I believe it was Dreamlight that was putting on basically their own co-stream, just organizing that. Just how is it to try to throw something like that together, and like how do you find people and things like that?
Stressful, but fun. So I was actually playing in Calling All Heroes Rising during most of the matches. So in my maps, I'm like tabbing out, like trying to make sure that everything's going okay. I have Sabotabi to thank for a lot of the stuff going as well as it did. I feel like we both did our jobs really well, and I think that it could have gone a lot worse. I think it went super smoothly, which was nice. In terms of finding people, I just like DM everyone on Discord and hope that people reply. That was kind of my route. And also, I went to bed after we organized it, and I woke up in the morning and saw like CB and Got Moxie in the Discord server, and I'm like, oh, Sabotabi's works are magic, so that works.
No, that's fair. But hey, listen, you said you also were playing. Want to shout out to the victory? You know, you did win that
Let's
Rising
go.
tournament.
Yes,
Yippee,
yeah.
the goat.
Shout out my team. Shout out Blue High Blast. Everyone calls us Blahaj, but it's actually Blue High.
But I mean, yeah, just
Beautiful logo.
you know,
by the way.
yeah. Listen, beautiful logo. I feel like if HanaSophie didn't have a beautiful logo for her team, it would be like, you know, a tragedy.
I actually didn't make it. So our main support, Lake, made it, and he's really cool. He's a really good artist, and actually did a lot of the art for our graphics. So shout out to Lake. Yeah, it was the best logo. Yeah, I joined after the logo had already been made, so I can't take any credit for the branding at all.
Yeah. Okay, but moving on to the second part of the question here, and you might have already touched on it here or there in the last two answers, but what kind of keeps you coming back to doing esports stuff, whether it be as a player or on the opposite side, the production side or the graphics side?
Boredom? No, I'm kidding. I definitely the people. I think I made so many friends through doing this. That's what keeps me coming back. I think there's a very mixed bag of people in esports, especially Overwatch. I think you kind of know who to avoid, but the people that are great are like really great, and that's genuinely the reason it keeps me coming back. Like even the Dreamlight broadcast was literally just because like Sabotabi like put on Twitter that she wanted to stream the REA games. And then we just ended up like spending a whole evening together, like grinding it and sorting it out. And so I feel like in no other industry potentially could those friendships form just from one tweet.
Yeah, and I mean, your reason why you keep coming back is, I mean, I think the main reason why all three of us keep coming back, it's the friends that we've made and the people that we get to work with are, and we've said it a lot in the first couple episodes. Strangely enough, it's been something that we haven't talked about recently. Yeah, we talk about it, here and there, but we don't mention it directly. But it's just the people we work with are by far some of the best people. I would say at least for me, like some of the best people that I've met in life. Maybe not in person, but at least gotten the chance to work with some of the best people.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like even doing prod stuff, I've got to work with like the most random people as well. I feel like some broadcasts that are thrown together last minute, it's just like, how do we end up here? Like me and my friend Cavo, I don't know if anyone watching this saw us cast on the Quick Esports channel for some Norwegian esports league, and we'd never casted before. This is like our first time casting. And the broadcast like pans to us, like our faces. We kind of like lock eyes and then we just laugh for like the first 3 minutes and don't say anything. We just start laughing, and it was, but again, it was so fun, and like there was no flame, no hatred or anything. No like get off my broadcast. It was just vibes, and I loved it. And even like we ran a Dreamlight, me and Cabo as well. We just ran a charity tournament. Which we raised over £1,000 for the charity. It was awesome. And I had to step in last minute to cast because Natnif had to step in last minute to produce. And I ended up like the caster duo was like me, Jay Karu, and I think it was Spectrion. And it was just the most random mix of people we had on that broadcast, but it was the most fun I've had like ever, I think. And everything fun I do, it just always kind of leads back to esports and people and just the making friends part of it. It's amazing.
Yeah, I imagine casting with Spectrion, especially for a charity event where maybe not the best play is going on. I don't know what level of play was going on, but I feel like Spec would not be afraid to just kind of let his to tell what he actually thinks about what we're seeing.
There was one broadcast that was it was Spectrion and Backbone were casting together.
Yeah.
And they were like, I think Backbone was like really hungry, and our observers just kept finding like all of the food on each map to show before the broadcast. And I can't remember who it was. It was like AJ Buddha and Mag, I think. And they were like panning between the fish and chips sign on the Kings Row map. It was great. Amazing.
The observers that know the little things in every map are the scariest. Because they'll be able to find the most random of stuff. And we, like, all three of us have dealt with a couple observers who know, like, every little, like, hidden Easter egg, every little, like, random spot on the map where it's like, oh yeah, kind of look at this. And then we know one observer who's just like, hey, here's where all the pigeons are.
Yes. I love Chantal's pigeons. That's so good. Every Sojourn, like a...
Yeah, like... One of them told us when they were on here, like, there's one pigeon on Toronto or New Queen Street, and it's just like, it's only one. Doesn't make sense where it's, I guess it makes sense where it's at, but it's like, why is there only one when every other time there's a pigeon in a map, there's like several?
It's amazing.
Those are the observers you have to watch out for, though, because they will just cut to anything and just be like, here you go, you're going to work with this.
Like, who was it that focused on the chair? We've talked about it.
Orange. It was Orange. It was specifically against Person whenever Person would come up as the producer. It's as I say, it was Watchpoint Gibraltar, I believe. Anytime Gibraltar came up, there's just this hidden chair from the old spawn on Third Point that just doesn't exist anymore because they changed the spawn. And yeah, so there's just a chair there. You know, sometimes you have to think about it because the observers just know where it is and, you know, deal with it.
Yeah. Sorry, my cat's on my desk and I'm trying to make sure she doesn't knock anything over that
Hey, it's not
Wait a
coming
minute.
to us.
Wait, bring the cat in. Mod.
It has to happen
laid down.
eventually.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
That's very fair.
Cat.
Yeah,
Cat,
you
let's
picked her up
go.
anyway. That's crazy. Dex let us know that he was going to that it would be an inconvenience before doing it, just to flex. That's crazy.
Well, I thought just get it out of the way. Get it out of the way early so that I could not have to do it later. But now the problem is she wants to jump up on my lap, and I kind of need.
Just have a cat on your lap. What's the problem?
I need it so I can write stuff down, man.
Who are you calling, man? Huh? Do we gotta cancel you?
Oh.
I mean, we tried last week. It didn't really work.
We did try. We have 2 shorts.
Oh yeah,
2
no.
or 3 shorts.
Mega, I didn't.
And
I didn't tell you. We turned the first minute of last week's episode into a short. It got 200.
You mean like
views.
I've been telling you to?
Yeah, it got 200 views in less than 5 minutes for some weird
Yes,
reason.
I've literally been telling you. Just throw it's literally just free money, or not money technically, but it's just free views to make shorts and TikToks and all that stuff. The algorithm will find people for it. It just will. It's just the natural way.
It does. It will. I only find it funny because of what I decided to name it, and it's just Dex hates women ?
You know what? That's fine.
Now I need some context.
Well, wait, Hannah, you know the context of me jokingly canceling Fletch, right?
I don't think so.
Okay, this was at some point last year. The long story short of it is Fletch was casting me in a Rising match, and I got 3 kills on Widow, And because Fletch knows me, he just said some snarky remark like, I don't want to give her the credit she deserves. But without the context of him knowing me, it just sounds like he's just straight up hating me for existing. It's great.
That's amazing. Is there a clip of it? I need to see this.
Oh yeah, we have. I think I put it in general at some point, didn't I?
You probably did. If you like search like media and then like your name, you should be able to find it pretty quickly.
Oh, God, this is good. I'm trying to scroll up and find it.
I found it.
Yeah, I found it. Here, wait. I'm gonna pull it up on screen so everyone can watch.
Takes a headshot.
This is like the third or fourth episode we've pulled it up. By the way,
it's
No way.
because it's a goodie.
it's just a good clip. It's a good clip.
Wait, I need to change my. It's always okay. Okay.
Gotta change the thing.
Yeah, I need to
classic,
change. I need to
classic.
change all the things here. Give me a moment. I'm normally prepared for this, but that's
Oh,
the wrong
Road! I
thing.
didn't know Road played on Fireside Wars. That's
Why
cool.
is this okay?
I think this was back that Ka. It's
Okay.
the roster mania
Yes.
every
Yeah,
tournament.
Hopefully
this year
looking at
won't
these
be.
rosters, and I'm like, all of these people are on different teams now.
Takes a
Hey,
headshot, but not full charge.
Me and
there,
Selfridge are
so
both on soccer.
able to weather that storm, but
That's true.
oh,
I didn't get to play.
gets
against
out,
Sakura
pops
too,
us
so-
another there, and make that 2 for Megalass already. Oh my God! I don't want to give her the respect she deserves, but my God!
That's amazing.
It's just great. Again, we love in the Fletch here, but he did set himself up with that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen that clip before. That's amazing.
That was literally back in December. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's a great. Again, that's just more of the fun when you know people in esports. You get to have those fun
Yes.
moments and things like that.
Mhm. My favorite thing is queuing into ranked games and someone knows who you are. I feel like it boosts my ego a little bit, but it's also funny. It's bad when you lose. I had someone I queued into a game recently. I think it was yesterday, and someone just put, "I have who on my team," and it was great, brilliant. Thanks for that. I'm glad we have confidence in my tank gameplay.
Well, to be fair, you probably get recognized a lot more than the average player because I feel like you're more of a known name in the scene, right?
I just know a lot of people. I don't know why. 'Cause
Well-
I don't even do anything. It's just like,
Well, you know a lot of people, but also don't you help out with like Cavalry esports and stuff like that, and
Yes.
making and just everybody knows you. It's like OMG, one of the Twitter people.
I got recognized in a Marvel Rivals game as one of Confusion's friends, and that may have been the worst way I've been recognized potentially.
I was one of Confusion's friends. That I think I'd rather be
Yeah.
slurred at that point, if I'm being honest.
This is the worst way I could be recognized.
Yeah, for sure. It has happened in real life. I have people who have known me like twice or 3 times. Someone knew me like at college. They came up to me and were like, "Were you on this Twitch stream yesterday?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they were like, "Oh, I know you. I like follow you on Twitter." Like that is crazy.
Is that worse or better for you? Because in a weird way, I feel like what?
I don't like confrontation, so it's kind of scary. But
Mhm.
I didn't know what they were gonna say. I thought they were gonna like flame me, but no.
It's like, are you the Twitter person?
You that one person on Twitter, yeah.
I would much rather be flamed than have someone come up and recognize me from casting and say, I follow you and everything. It's like, oh, I don't know how to fuck to respond to this.
Yeah, right? I like didn't know what to say. I was just sat there like, oh, cool.
You just develop an see, you have to like kind of yada chat it out. You just have to pretend to have an ego and be like, I will sign your face, and then like even if there's not a Sharpie, just like sign their face.
That's next time's response.
Yeah, no Sharpie, only car keys. Let me key my name into your face.
Oh my gosh. That's horrifying.
Hey, listen, some people would be down for that probably.
There is for sure some people out there.
We are getting into okay, I regret saying that.
I have something to add on that. Me and my friend Cavo run like Minecraft events, and we did a Cool Little Heroes one, and somebody had a shock collar, so every time they took damage in Minecraft, they would like get shocked in real life, and it was crazy. I'm pretty sure they were streaming it too. I can't remember who it was. I don't even know if I can say. I'll have a look though, just for my own
COD
curiosity.
players, it's like a nuclear reactor. You cannot let them breach containment, otherwise things will go awry.
Yes. Yeah. Some interesting people.
Okay. Do you guys have a question? Because I feel like we need to move away from this topic.
Yeah.
Well, Hunter, you haven't said anything. What are your thoughts? How are you doing?
I think. Sorry, I've been cooking up a very, very awful. What do you call it? Oh my god, what's it called? Thumbnail. That's what it's called. That's
oh my god! Of course it was.
I've been cooking up a terrible thumbnail for the past 15 minutes of my life, and I regret it very much.
Wow. Not focused on our guest. That's crazy.
Hey, I'm focused on content right now, but I could throw a generic question out there that I actually want to hear the answer to. Yeah. Just in general, over the past few years, do you have a favorite moment, one that stands out to you more than anything else?
Oh gosh, that's such a hard question. Okay. So when we founded Dreamlight, during that month, it was so amazing to see how it kind of grew and how we got content creators that I'd admired to come play for our Google Heroes team. And when we got a Faceit Masters roster, and I was watching Overwatch Esports or something, and there was a match on, and they cut to the casters. It was Zoe and Jules and Necra, and I hear I was eating McDonald's. I was in the car, on my phone, eating McDonald's, and I hear the words, "Let's see how Dreamlight have been doing in the Faceit Masters," and I'm like, "Wait, what? What is happening?" And they showed an entire 10-minute segment of our history through Faceit Masters, the qualifications, to 20,000 people, and it was Zoe talking about my org, and I'm like, that is the craziest thing that's ever happened to me. I felt so cool.
I mean, that is amazing.
Yeah.
To get that kind of recognition.
I didn't say it was going to happen either. I was fully jump scared. I was like, wait, what did I do?
Yeah.
No, I think that's definitely my favorite moment. I think winning Google Heroes Rising was cool as well, especially because it was 4 a.m. I didn't really get a chance to celebrate it, but looking back on it, it was a cool experience. It was really cool. Yeah, I played in BPL, and we Cal, the Overwatch League player, we beat that team. That was cool.
Wait, the tournament where Cal played? Fun fact, we warmed up against Cal's team, and that dude fucking hated me. That we kept having to pause and stuff, that dude, and I was kind of bantering a little too hard, I'll admit, because we were having tech issues, but I guess I bantered too hard, and he just genuinely got pissed off. He was just typing can we start playing? Can we go? I'm like, oh shit, he's angry.
Oh, that's crazy. Oh no, I'm glad that didn't happen in my game. They beat us the first time, and I think we rematched them and then beat them. But that was cool. But there's so many experiences to choose from. I think. What about you guys? What's your favorite? I'm asking the questions now.
No. That is perfectly fine. That is perfectly fine. I'm all up for our guest coming in here and asking a question.
Oh yeah. What's your favorite esports moment?
Dex, Hunter, I'll let y'all cook first.
Dex, you start us off, buddy.
I mean,
damn.
It goes back to that thing where we were just talking about running into someone in public. But I was talking to this dude, and for about 10-15 minutes at Toronto for the final OWL Grand Finals, and I've briefly told this story in the past, and the only reason I stopped to talk to this dude is because he was wearing an old Atlanta Thrashers jersey, and very random, but I'm very much into the aesthetics of sports stuff, so uniforms, and since the Thrashers no longer exist, I really like the jersey. It's kind of a holy grail thing for me. Talked to him about that for a little bit. Found out about 10-15 minutes in when he said, "Are you Dex from Trank?" I was like, what the fuck? He came up. It wasn't the whole thing where he came up to me and said, "Are you Dex?" No, we talked for a little bit, so at least it was not immediate.
That's so cool.
But like that moment right there kind of made me realize like all the stuff I've been doing with Tranquility at the time, and CGL, not in BPL at the moment. At that point, it was all weirdly worth it just to be able to have someone come up to me and call me, just out of the blue, call me Dex and say like, hey, I really like everything you do with Trank. Like that was an incredible thing and made it all worth it to that point with like just casting for me.
That's so cool. I had a similar experience with Spectrion actually when I met him at Epic LAN. I went to my first Epic LAN and we were like, my friends went over to Spectrion, we were just talking, and I was like, oh, I'm like HanaSophie, by the way. And he went, I know. I was like, oh, I didn't know you knew who I was. I feel like we hadn't really interacted before then either, just in very similar circles, but hadn't actually had like a proper conversation. So Epic LAN was cool. That's my other moment actually, was getting to meet people. Was I went when like Sheer Cold were there, and this was when I was doing social Sheer Cold, and it's like Sky Tour and like Johan and Trevor. It was like cool to kind of see everyone. Although it was really embarrassing because I was way too scared to say hello. I was too scared to do anything, so I was just kind of stood there really awkwardly, and I like didn't have a conversation with any of them the whole time, and I really regret it. So
I'm just like that as well. Like if I've talked to you online but never in person, it will be something where maybe I'm just kind of standing off to the side while you talk to other people, just saying like, I don't want to interrupt, but I want to say hi, but at the same time, I don't.
No, honestly, when I got there super early, just next to Wicked Park, and it was literally it was me, Takuno, Mentally Boomed, and Horrocks were the only people in the Overwatch area. And I'm like, these are like scary people, I'd spoken to Takuno before, so like I was hanging out with him. And, like one of our friends Amanda was there, so that was fine. But I was like, I've never spoke to Boomed or Horrocks like properly before. But no, they were super nice. They came over and said hello, so it kind of made it a lot easier. But I feel I'm like such a loud person online, and then you meet me in real life, and I'm like really socially awkward.
I was gonna say, I've never talked to any of those people, but like not ever talking to them before. It seems like, oh yeah, that's Nightmare Blunt rotation right there.
Yeah, they're onto like the nicest people. So, but no, it was
Hunter, Mega.
That means like at this point, everything I hear about Horrocks, it's like building him up to this like deity level, just like abomination, and it's just great in my mind because then I'm just gonna
Manchester. The drinks.
That's what I'm saying. It's like all of this build up between everybody who has all these stories, and he's just a fucking guy, and it's gonna be great.
The most
actually, Megalass, my like favorite moment with you. You've casted me multiple times. Before you have, yes.
I'm so sorry. I'm scared now. I'm scared.
No, I just remember you casting me. It must have been CGL. Do you cast CGL Goats?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was on like the Ex Oblivione CGL Goats team, and it was like me, Kindred, Senna, and like Kev. And I'm just like 90% certain you casted that. And that's not a different tournament. I can't remember, but you have casted me before because that's how I know who you are. I was like, you're the VTuber caster.
The VTuber caster. I'm not gonna lie. I remember it was like the end of last year when there was like con nonsense going on, and I remember when you DM'd me and like we're like, hey, listen, you're fine. Like people are just out here being mean to you. You got this stuff. I was like, wait, you know who I am? I was just like, I was like, what the fuck? Not only do you know who I am, you're defending me. I was like, oh shit, okay,
I
that's
didn't
cool.
know you knew who I was, so that's really funny. I was like, you probably think I'm some rando. Like,
no, I was like, oh fuck, this is HanaSophie. I know her. I've seen her stuff. I've seen like the graphics and stuff she makes, and I'm like, oh shit.
I know, you've casted me multiple times. I think Hunter has too. I don't know if Dex has, but you and Hunter definitely have. Because I just do random side quests and tournaments sometimes. I think I cast Spectrion's casted me before I knew who he was, before he knew who I was. I think that's probably it. Looking at the people in this server and just like looking down the list. Actually, I had like one interaction with Headrammer where I like crashed out in his DMs about console Overwatch. This was in 2020. This was 6th of December 2020. I was just like crashing out about like people being clients, and I was like, but I was like 15, so I had like no idea what I was saying, but yeah, for sure, an interesting one. Oh, I just dropped my phone on the floor. That was really loud. Sorry.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay, but hold on. So Hunter, do you have an esports story? What you got? What's your favorite?
God, see, it's tough to have a favorite, and this isn't a cop out because I will give a story, but I haven't had like that moment yet. You know, not the moment that like sticks in your mind like for like years on end, and it's like, yeah, that's like the moment. Like I never like had that moment of recognition. I've had like one of my mom's coworkers like was talking about me. It's like, wait, Hunter, like Huntertain? I'm like, that's the only time I've ever been recognized outside of the space by like some random person. It's like wasn't like an in-person thing, so it's like, okay, well that's kind of cool, but we'll see. But honestly, for me, like the moment that stands out is that like I say I've been casting for like almost 7 years, which is true. But I very much slipped away from the space back in like 2021, went into good old hibernation, only coming in and out sporadically for 2 years. My favorite moment is doing all the stuff at the 2023 what was the Timeless Broadcast project. I know that has connotations because, you know, certain things happen behind the scenes afterwards, yada yada. I'm not focusing on that part. That's a whole different story, a whole different podcast. But being able to come through and actually do games again and reignite the passion that I feel like I lost at some point, that's just a thing that has to kind of stick in my mind right there. Because if I was on this as a guest and if Dex would ask me the question, what keeps you coming back? I would say it's those moments right there where I'm like, this is so much fucking fun. I love doing this. And those just always stick in my mind of some of my best and worst casts to this date. And then I'm like, all right, we have a starting point again. Let's go from there and let's see what happens. It's not an exciting story by any means, but I don't know. Maybe I'll have a new story after this year ends. Who knows? You never know what'll happen. You never know.
Hey.
Very true.
That's fair.
Yeah.
In terms of because I have a player story and I have a caster story. I don't know which would be better to tell.
Player stories are different. Player stories are more fun.
Which one is funnier?
I would say that, but here's the thing, like y'all know, like for the most part, you know the caster one, which was just when Timeless tweeted out like last year during the what's it called, when OWCS had like the group stage matches and BPL got to cover it. They when Timeless just tweeted out like, "OMG, is that a VTuber casting our game?" I was like, "Oh shit, people are perceiving me." And there was like that whole thing with Fletch and just Fletch getting absolutely ignored. Has to like go into the replies himself and be like, "Hey guys, I was there too." Like
not
that was
important.
the funniest, dude. That was like actually I felt so bad for Fletch because like I got so many different like followers and like notifications and stuff just from, again, Timeless didn't tell me they were doing that. They just kind of did it without saying a word. And I remember like I even got like their Vitamin Ramen people were talking to me and shit for a bit. I was like, oh my gosh. And then of course, you know, Timeless fell into a black hole for a little bit, but you know, that happens in esports. But I'm actually going to ego and tell both stories because the player one is quick. Similar situation, like winning, what was it? Major 2 for Kyle Rising last year, especially because, like, getting to do that on the main, like, the fact that I can say I have a clip of my, or, like, a VOD of my gameplay on the OWCS YouTube channel blows my mind. You know what I mean? Because it was Kyle Rising. Yes. I was saying, got to cover it. Granted, I always hyperinflate. I'm like, yeah, there's 27K people watching. There were, but like, let's be real, 90% of them were there for drops. Nobody gave a fuck about it. Nobody gave a fuck about what was happening on the screen. If you watch the chat, it just says drops, drop, 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 drop. Like it's just all talking about drops. Hey, listen, not my fault that Kyle has the best drops. Not my fault. That's just what they do. But yeah, that was a very hype moment that I've been chasing that high for a year because that shit was hype.
COD does have the best drops.
It does.
It really does. All right,
it's so much
fun. But I mean, Hana, you touched on it here a little bit. You own or run Dreamlight?
I do.
Like, what was the initial idea of when you decided to say like, okay, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna start a team here or an org? What was kind of going through your head?
Okay, so I put out a tweet and was like, damn, imagine if Overwatch orgs did like K-pop merch. And then I think it was Antares. I don't know if you know who Antares is, but she's a manager. And I think she messaged me and was like, hey, if you ever like end up making an org, do like K-pop theme, like let me know and I'll like lend a hand and we can run it together. And like it was like a ridiculous time in the morning as usual. So I went to bed, and the next day I'd have like a lot of positive reception from a lot of people, and people have messaged being like, "Hey, like it'd be really cool to help out with this." And I was like, you know what, screw it, let's do it, let's see what happens. Because I'd taken a break from playing the game at this point, so I was purely just like focusing on work, like graphics, observing, etc. And so this was like a way that I could practice my graphics and also practice content planning and stuff like that. So yeah, it was purely on a whim. There was no plan at all. I just got a bunch of people together who I knew liked K-pop, made a group chat, and that was it. we just got some content creators in for our Cool Little Heroes roster, and then we had a Cool Little Heroes Rising roster as well, and they ended up doing pretty well. So yeah, it was really fun. And it kind of like exploded a little. So yeah.
I feel like exploding a little is downplaying it a little bit. Like I felt like there was a time like just after Dreamlight really got going, like I couldn't go maybe an hour on like Twitter without seeing something from Dreamlight or someone talking about Dreamlight. Like it blew up out of nowhere for me, for at least on my feed. And like it's always really fun to kind of see that at the level where I think I say like me, Hunter, and Mega are at, like that whatever the hell tier 3 fringe tier 2 maybe is at the moment, where like you're seeing all these teams come in with great branding, but therefore one or two events in BPL and that's about it. But Dreamlight was incredible to see.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm happy it went well. Literally, I wrote some like kind of joke aims down on a Google Doc, and I was just like, I don't want to be another one of those tier 3 teams. Like, I don't want to just be a random team that kind of exists for a little bit and then just dies. So we're gonna put as much effort as we can into this. And oh my gosh, the effort that people put in was crazy. Like the staff that we have now, and even the people who we had before that aren't here anymore, just like spent hours with me, like planning things, putting stuff together, and it was just so like heartwarming to see how much people like actually cared about it doing well.
I think there's a lot of people now who, when they're starting esports teams, there's the two divisions. The one with you or Dreamlight, where everyone is very, very passionate about trying to make it as successful as it possibly can be, and then other ones where it's like they have that passion for like the first week or two, and then it kind of just falls off. They'll have a great branding, but it kind of goes nowhere from like their first event because they lose their entire team.
Yeah.
Which sucks, but like it's really cool.
That kind of happened to us for Cool Little Heroes. Everyone kind of just like left, but then we were super lucky, and like the fact that Face It was like right around the corner, so we just put everything we had into getting like a Face It team, and we had some crazy wins actually. I love our team; they're so nice. And I think we played really well in the OWCS qualifiers, so that was really cool to see. Yeah.
How did you guys do in the OWCS qualifiers?
We made it. So we got top cut. I think it was like top 25 or something, and then there was like playoffs, and we got through those, I think. And then there was like a bracket stage or something. I can't remember exactly how it went, but I remember we knocked out. Who was on the team? Armja's team. I think I had like Lauren on it, or someone like notable people that we didn't expect to. We kind of I don't want to say we didn't expect to win, but one that like wasn't 100% set in stone. So and then we got that win, and yeah, it was really cool. Obviously, unfortunately, didn't make OWCS. But we've been playing in Face It Masters, so we got through Face It Masters qualifications, which was cool. So yeah.
Nice. But moving on to one thing I wanted to touch on with here, because I only knew you from the graphic you made for us and all the other graphics that you've made for all the other teams. I just want to ask, like, so you have your favorite moments, but what has by far been your favorite graphic? And then there'll probably be a couple of like follow-up to that.
I actually already started doing graphics in October, so there haven't been loads. It's only been like 6 months. I think that I really like the 0907 roster reveal. That one kind of like popped on Twitter, and like people, I saw like someone put in like I think it was CV's Discord server, like, damn, this graphic designer needs a raise. I'm like, oh, that's so cool, because I was like really new to it. Then this would have been like last year, so it was still like really early on. And recently I did one of the graphics for Explorione's Marvel Rivals team. And I really like that one. So they're probably my two favorites. I like the one I made for you guys. That's on my portfolio. So your guys' names is on my university application portfolio. So
here, this is just for after this. Do you have a link to your portfolio? Because I will put it in the YouTube description so people can go look at everything.
Yes. Let me grab that.
But
yeah, I think they're already my two favorites. And both of them were like kind of, well, no, the X Oblivion one I put a lot of time into, but the 0907 one was like, can you make this roster reveal like for tomorrow or like for today? It was like a super short time frame.
So it's like ours, where Spec gave you 2 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, but it was a lot of fun. Actually, I can find it.
While you look for this,
I'll put it in the voice channel chat.
Yep. While you look for that, like what's kind of your process of like making a graphic? Because like I've made some in the past for my old college's esports team, and there's always like a process I have with it, like from initial idea to kind of working through it all. Like especially these with short time frames, you really don't have a lot of time to really have a good idea or a lot of time to say like, okay, I can try this and this. It's you normally need to focus on one thing really fast. Like, what's your process with making graphics?
Have a mental breakdown, and then look at Pinterest, question why I decided to be a graphic designer, and then just like look at a blank page on Photoshop for a long time, until just something ends up looking okay. That's kind of the process. I like to be like very oh my gosh, what's the word? Communication centered, and kind of like really understand what the like commissioner wants. So I'll like send a few different drafts over, and I'll like do Pinterest and then be like, make a Pinterest board for them, send it over, and be like, hey, if I kind of like, does this kind of capture the vibe you were looking for? And then if they say no, I cry and then do it again. If they say yes, then open up Photoshop and make something. Sorry, that's not very in-depth, but I honestly I'm not a very planned person. I kind of just wing it half the time. Probably isn't the best advertisement for me, but oh well.
No,
I like to have fun with it. That's kind of the main thing for me.
Mega, were you gonna say something?
Oh no! It's like I feel like every graphic designer I speak to that has that same thing where they're just like, yeah, I just hate myself for 4 hours and then I turn out a masterpiece. And it's just like, gosh, like there's a reason I can't do art in the slightest, but like y'all are way too hard on yourselves. You put out amazing stuff off cooldown.
Yeah, like the 0907 one, which I'm showing right now because we were talking about it a little bit. I mean, that looks incredible. Like from the times I've done some graphic work, I wish I could do something like that. Like I normally have I have a week to do stuff a lot of the time, but like I can never get it to look like that. I might be able to execute the idea or the initial concept I kind of thought of it, but there's always the more like I wish I could. I think it's balancing like elements and balancing colors so it's not like completely being overtaken by one thing.
Sure, for sure. I've just sent a couple others. Actually, I'll send your roster reveal. You can put it up on the screen. Let me see. Actually, yeah, the roster reveal I made for you was a lot of time looking at Pinterest. That was like, I think most of the time was looking for inspiration for that. Because obviously you didn't have like a brand. I think Spectrion was just like do what you want. So I was stressing a little bit.
Yeah, so I'll show our one here.
Yes.
I love that you went with the name For the Love of Prod because we hadn't decided on a name yet.
Oh.
And For the Love of Prod, which is the name of the podcast. So I think Spec gave you that.
Yes.
Eventually, we just became a Shoes production crew.
That's amazing.
The only, like, I told them I don't care what the name is. It was just my idea to have a team. You guys can come up with the name, and I don't know what else there was besides Shoes.
I pushed hard for Shoes production crew. I pushed hard for that.
I love that.
I forget what the other we still have the channel of potential team names. Yes, Karma's suggestion of Higgs could. That wasn't me stuttering either. That is the genuine suggestion, which is just the first letter of all of our names.
Oh, that's amazing.
Oh, what was
I like
it? NA's Finest featuring Spectrion.
That's
Oh gosh.
we needed to have more where we were just kind of shit talking Spec in the names. I think we already decided on like what our team name is going to be if we decide to run this again, right?
Did we?
Leaks.
I don't know.
Spill.
I don't remember. I think
I
someone
thought we were just piloting Shoes production crew until the end of time.
We could honestly, if we do like a team for like a different kind of tournament, like if there's like like because obviously with the new mode coming out, there might be tournaments specifically for that, and maybe we have team names for that. Who knows? Like there are good suggestions in here. Like so, with like Path Production is a pretty cool one. Specs like Tier 3 Prod is not a job. I honestly kind of like that one too.
That's amazing. I was on a team called Paid and Exposure. So we had a bunch of like Twitter people. That was for. Do you know what Oomph League is?
Think
it's like OOL on Twitter. Yeah, that's for that. We lost every game. I don't think we even won about, but it was very fun.
Well,
I made our logo. It was cool.
Yeah, the logo for Shoes Production Crew is a masterpiece.
It's just you.
I know.
At least our CPL one is just you.
Yeah, Hunter, if you want to pull it up, because I don't know, I don't have it. I don't have the image anywhere. Yeah, but
oh, I do. I literally just had it because you're in a thumbnail, buddy, with the rest of us.
Great. Yeah, but I mean, so I mean, you do a lot with you. Well, Hunter pulls this up, Hana. You do a lot when it comes to esports and with Dreamlight. You make these graphics. You said you were an observer as well, and you said you kind of stepped back away from playing here and there to work on your observing. Like, what has kind of been like the best part about being an observer? Because we've had some observers come on. They've talked about what they really enjoy about it, but what is like your favorite thing about doing it?
I like watching Overwatch, and I think that's kind of it's so really stupid, but I think that's important. I think you have to enjoy actually the game. So I honestly half the fun is just like getting to sit in the game and watch like cool games, cool matches, and also like watch players that you kind of look up to in a way. Like I've observed people who were people that I kind of admired from afar. Like, damn, that person's cool, and then all of a sudden, I'm in a custom game for them asking what hero they banned. Like, it's just a cool experience. Like my personal favorite observer experience is that I did like the clean feed for Commander X, like his IWCS qualifier clean feeds, and like the Face It promo relegation just gone. And that was fun. That was a lot of fun. And again, yeah, I just like the people that I've worked with for observing. I think I've been really lucky in the kind of people I have had the chance to observe for, because it's more of like a side questing thing for me. So I've only ever done my first one was Class Clash, and then Command X, and that was about it really. So I hadn't really done too much observing, but it's been so much fun. It's one of the things if I didn't find graphics, I think I probably would have pursued observing instead, because I felt that I was getting really burnt out of social media management, because that's where I started and that's where a lot of my experience is. But I felt like I was getting so burnt out, and I just kind of lost that passion and love for it. And so I took a step away from that, and I was trying to find something else, still in the esports scene, but something different. So I literally tried everything. I've done everything except producing, because that's terrifying. So there's too many buttons, too many things. I'm never touching that ever. Luau tried to teach me to produce, and I was like, nope, not doing that.
It sounds like that's going to be the next thing you're learning here.
Oh no, I hope not. It's so stressful.
If you're gonna learn how to produce, I think BPL might honestly be the best place for that, because you have Solomon, you have Knock, you have Hippie, you have a lot of people there who will genuinely just, if you ask them to sit down and teach you, they will help you for hours. Like, they love to do that.
I've been sat in a call with Westy trying to explain a package to Luau, and I was just like, this is going straight over my head. I don't know what's going on. There's technical terms and RMTP link file things, Solomon.gg, there's too many dots, it's too many links. I don't know. I just press buttons. I like to make things look nice.
And I mean, I think that's what a lot of us like to do, just press buttons and make sure everything looks nice.
Yeah, pretty much. No hate to producers. You're amazing, and I could never do what you do.
No, there's some hate. We can always slander a producer every now and then.
Yeah, maybe.
I will slander Hippie for free. That guy's a bum.
Oh, I don't know any producers well enough to slander them, and Westy is just the goat, so I can't slander Westy. So I've got no one else to slander.
I mean, you could
actually
go ahead.
I was gonna say, if you want to get us all killed, we could talk about Echo.
No, I love Echo. Again, only I can't flame Echo. It feels so bad. She's so cool.
Honestly,
yeah,
but
see,
I love Echo yet. So.
See, listen, even if you jokingly flame Echo, it won't come back at you, Hana. It'll come back at the rest of us. We'll all get murdered. Oh. It's great.
Yeah, eventually when she comes back on the second time, she'll just start leaking all the stuff she has recorded of us, of what we talk about during breaks.
Okay, I don't like how you phrase that, because you make it sound like we say some heinous shit.
I mean, we don't say heinous shit all the time, but we do say some out of context stuff. Out of context, some stuff would sound heinous.
That's fair.
Honestly, yeah.
I mean, what she has the one sound clip of Spectrion. I forget what it is, but it is completely out of context. I forget.
Skibidi Ohio Riz.
Oh yeah, that one. Thank you. Wait, what? What channel's that in?
That's the CGL one. It's gotta be.
Yeah, Skibidi Ohio Riz.
Sorry, Spectrion. It's so good. I have a lot of out-of-pocket ones to Spectrion that he'll hate me if I play, so I won't do that.
No, dude, go ahead.
Yeah.
I don't want to get anyone cancelled.
No
cancellation here.
There's no
cancellation. We literally have a short called Dex Hates Women. All right, I think we've already established a fine line.
I don't hate women.
200 views says differently.
The clip doesn't lie. The clip doesn't lie.
I made the clip. I named it.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
No, we gave when we talked about slandering Spec earlier on, he was like, "Hey, yeah, absolutely, ask Hana to do that." He loves to hear people talk about him.
I can't slander. I've got nothing to slander Spectrion about. I feel like I've never had a negative experience with Spectrion.
Mega slander Spec.
Oh my god, where do I begin? Holy shit, the kid's got an ego like far beyond what he's capable of. He thinks he's the best player in the world when I see this kid get shit on the ladder daily. Like anytime he actually queues up, he ends with just realizing how bad he is. His one trick isn't even a proper one trick, right? Because all the Tracer one tricks have moved on to at least being flexible. He can't even do that. It's like this guy, and then also he gets in the casting booth and he thinks he's just God's gift to esports, when I think if you made him play-by-play one time, he would quit forever. I can't wait. I can't wait to forget about this, and I'm just gonna get like an essay of shit from him tomorrow morning. It's gonna be hilarious.
Now, no, I think Spec told us he kind of banks up watching all these, or banks up on listening to all these when he's at work. So it might be weeks, Mega.
Exactly. But again, it'll just be the forgotten, and then it'll just randomly pop up that I just get told to jump off of a bridge.
I don't think you guys understand. I feel like we're going to get responses tomorrow. Like, in the morning, we are going to get responses from Spec. It's going to happen. He realized there is a chance he's going to get Glaze on this podcast. And he will love it. He'll love every moment of this podcast.
Right. I don't think he will. No, he will. He will. It's Spectrion.
It is Spectrion. It is Spectrion. I don't know.
All right, Hana. But I mean, you've worked with a lot of different. You worked with a lot of different orgs. You worked with a lot of different tournaments, whether it be on social media manager, the production side, the graphic side. Like, what is one thing that kind of that you remember that necessarily wasn't the best thing for you, but it's kind of helped you later down the line with when it comes to something else, like something that was a negative then, but it's kind of turned into a positive.
Okay.
The farther on in time it's been since that point.
I have two. One of them I can't name any names.
Fair.
There was like, I don't know, I feel like situations with not getting paid is really irritating. And that's kind of one of the reasons why I stopped doing most social media management and why I got burnt out, is because there was just like one person and like one org that I worked for that was just like a terrible person. But to spin it in a positive light, I wouldn't have got into graphics if I didn't leave social media management. So I think that kind of helped in that way. I kind of realized that social media wasn't kind of what I wanted to continue doing. And another situation, this actually happened at a terrible time. So I had got a social media management offer from like a fairly decently sized Rainbow Six org. And they have like gun skins in game, right? It's like a tier 1 org. And we'd got all the contracts signed and everything. Go great. And then I had my A levels. And I was like, hey, I can't put as much time in right now because I'm doing my A levels. And the guy was like, oh, that's okay. Did you want to like void this month's contract so that then you can like, because in the contract it had like a certain number of hours, and he was like, yeah, we'll just like void it for this month and it's fine. So I was like, okay. So we did finish my A levels. I messaged him back, and he was like, oh, we found someone else. Sorry, bye. And that's basically what happened. And this happened like the night of like the BPL game. And I just like couldn't play. I had to like message like Stacks was managing our team. It was such a cursed roster. It was like, I can't remember who else was on it, but it was me, Sonder, Memory. It was a crazy roster. And yeah, I was just like, man, I'm just sad. Like, sub me out. I can't play the game. We're not winning, so it's fine. But yeah, that was a terrible experience. Don't void contracts. Don't just hold people to account. That's kind of what I learned from that. And always double check with other people what their advice on that kind of thing is as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't like. I wish I could say I've been in that situation before and know necessarily what to say, but like, I don't think Hunter or Mega or myself have had something where like we signed a contract just yet to do something. Hopefully in the future that is something that happens for all three of us, and happens for you again. Maybe not for social media. Maybe hopefully it happens again for you. Maybe not for social media managing, but for something else as well. But like, Yeah,
sure.
I don't
I have
think.
so many negative experiences that I could like spill, and I just like can't.
I feel
don't
like.
wanna
I feel like
out
that's.
myself.
Yeah, I feel like that's also like one of the other big problems with just esports in general. At the moment, is that especially at the top, there's. I feel like a decent amount of negative experiences that I've heard.
Even at the bottom, even in
yeah.
like tier 4, tier 3. Did you see the top 10? I can't believe I'm actually mentioning this. The top 10 fakest people in UK esports tier list.
No.
Was Spectrion on
Oh
the
wow,
list?
let me pull it up.
Is
Let me pull it up.
is here? No. The better question is Edgar on the list.
I've got to find this. It's on Twitter. Talk about something. Hang on, just give me a second. Give me a second.
Yeah. Okay, so apparently, it's just me and Hunter that haven't had to deal with anything with signing contracts.
A classic NDA, perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, I've signed contracts for I've signed. Okay, there was a game that I was beta testing that I had to sign an NDA for. That release and died. Spectre Divide. Fun fact. I was in with that. And then I got slid a contract for an esports scholarship. I did not technically sign that because I declined the offer, even though it was a crazy good offer. Why did I decline it? Because I'm crazy. I genuinely don't. To this day, I don't know why I did it, but it's something I did. And so, but yeah, and then there's, a random contract here or there. Nothing major, but
I think the closest thing that ever happened to me like signing a contract would be like when the DreamHack LAN happened last year. Like I got put on, or I was told like, hey, yeah, you're good to go. I was just told I can't. I think the only thing they said is like I couldn't tweet anything about it until they gave us the okay to tweet about it. But it was not like you have to sign this or anything like that. It was just don't mention anything until like we tell you you can.
Yeah, I mean, like, the only equivalent I can think is Mega. Like, I think you too. We have to like sign something for like TEC at the beginning of every season.
Well, yeah,
like,
I mean the TEC, but
that's
yeah, we signed something, but I don't know. Like,
it's not anything like.
It's literally, it's basically a piece of paper.
It is essentially a piece of paper that says,
I
"Hey,
found the link. I found the tweet.
Good segue."
It's going in general.
All right.
I got number 3, and I was kind of sad that I wasn't number 1, but got top 3. I don't know if you know who this guy is. He's kind of a known figure within the. I don't want to say. I'm not gonna. Yeah, he's an interesting specimen.
Doug, his own Twitter bio is supervillain of UK esports. Bro thinks he's somebody.
I can't believe George has come up in this podcast. Oh, what have I done?
Yeah, it's not like he's ever going to watch it. It's not like he's ever going to watch it.
He's a terrible human being.
Okay, so fuck him.
Yeah, real. Yeah, don't like this guy. He made an org a while ago. And that's actually one of the first places I ever did like social media management. So I like thank them for letting me do that. He's just a bit weird. I don't know. He's like a big like Nigel Farage fan. I don't know if you know who Nigel Farage is, like in America, but
I know enough about politics to know that he's not fun.
I actually I have a soundboard of night. Hang on, let me play this. What's it called?
Oh my god, is that the real HanaSophie?
That's Nigel Farage. We got someone paid him to say it.
That's a banger. I need to do that. Just get cameos of people saying
funny.
other people's names.
It's so funny. Yeah, it was. I did politics at college, and we got him to do a cameo for my politics teachers, and we put that at the end. So yeah, that's immortalized now.
I don't know how I would react to a politician saying my name, mostly just because I don't want any politician to ever say my name.
Yeah, that's very fair. That's very fair. Have you guys had like not to bring the mood down, but like negative experiences that are like, but like funny negative, like ones you can look back on and like laugh about?
Oh,
not ones that actually just like ruined your life, but like.
Hang on. Let me check if the transgender VTuber caster has ever had anybody negatively talk about them in esports. Let me check the files on that one. No, listen, it's like haters come with the territory. It's great.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's terrible.
So I think my negative one, which I look back now on as a little bit better, is just the one cast I had with the Timeless Broadcasting Project. I just look at it as my worst cast. I look at it as my worst cast, but I look at I've gone back and watched it a couple times. It's like it's not as bad as I remember it, but it's definitely something where I kind of said to myself, like, okay, you need to just improve from here. And I think I've done a good job of that. But bad experiences, I had a fucking within the first year of me casting, I found, and I was just looking for any kind of cast. I found a bunch of high schoolers who are looking to broadcast a game. Mm-hmm. They did not know anything about anything when it came to broadcasting, casting, and observing and producing. And they just kind of ghosted me on the day of it. I was in their server, I was in their call, I was talking with them, and they just never actually did anything.
Oh.
I that's a negative one, but it's a funny one because why the hell did I trust high schoolers to know what the hell they're doing?
Yeah. I actually have a funny one. What can you know Shea Cold, right? Mm-hmm. Can you remember the incident of not paying the graphic designer?
Mm-hmm.
So that was my friend, and I was doing their solutions at the time. And I know I spoke out about it on Twitter and how it was a terrible kind of thing that happened. I remember the ex players from Shea Cold were posting about it, and most of them were just kind of nonchalant about the situation. But the one person that blamed me. Do you know who NKZ is?
I've heard the name. I don't remember.
I'm really glad. Yeah. He was I think he was Dutch, and he was a Overwatch player, a tank. He was the tank player for Shea Cold. They just flamed me on Twitter, and I'm I was on holiday during this entire thing. I wasn't even here. I didn't even know it happened until the day. Yeah, that was a funny one though. I feel it was just random, if that makes sense. It was just a weird situation, and most people were just on our side, and just have to have one Overwatch player be actually, HanaSophie is terrible. I'm oh, okay.
It sounds like he was just trying to get attention more than anything else on him.
Yeah, it was so weird. He seemed like a really chill guy as well, but yeah, it was crazy. Yeah. But I like the moments that you can look back and laugh at.
Yeah. Hunter, do you have any moments you can look back on and laugh at now?
I can laugh at now?
Or Mega?
I'd say the most recent one is I'm not someone that particularly gets sick very often. It hits once a year. And I think I feel like I forget if you casted a game with me while I was sick, but I got really sick for a span of a week, and I kept pushing myself to try to do matches. And looking back on it now, I can laugh at it, but watching it back at the moment and realizing this is some of the worst performances I have had in years on end, trying to force myself and looking at it I've made a fool out of myself. I can smile and laugh at it now because it's I'm not going to make that mistake ever again, except I 100% will. It'll happen. Just, it's a question of when and not if, but that's probably the one thing I can look back and laugh at.
Mm-hmm. For Megas, I would like to propose the Call of the Heroes Rising drama from last December.
You're just gonna say it like that, huh? Could I have worded things better? Yes. Was my overall message still correct? Yes. However, I'm not going to elaborate much further than that because I don't want Dex's podcast to be surrounded in drama.
I don't care.
However, people know if they are ops to me. They know we are very aware of each other, and the hatred. I wouldn't even call it hatred because I truly don't dedicate that much time to it. It's just when they come up, in like a conversation, or it's like they're going to be involved in something I'm working on, I'm like, oh, well, you're just annoying, aren't you?
Yeah.
And it pretty much goes from there.
All right. Well, Hannah, before we sign off, is there anything else that you want to kind of say, or is there anything else you kind of want to ask us about? This isn't like putting you on the spot. If you don't want to,
no. How did you guys come up with the idea for the podcast?
This guy.
So about a year ago, I just started tweeting out random shit saying, "Hey, here's some dumb ideas I've been having," and one of them was a podcast that focused on esports production, or especially like in the grassroots scene, and it all came off the back of a podcast that one of our friends and one of our previous guests, Unfeatured, did with someone who I don't think has done esports prod now in like 2 years. Their name was Laggy Son. They did a esports production podcast, only did about 2 or 3 episodes and then stopped it. And the whole idea kind of came from that. And the reason I called it a dumb idea is because exactly what happened with that podcast. They did it 2-3 times and then they stopped. It was always the thing of like, am I going to actually be able to consistently keep doing this week after week after week after week? Because my biggest fear was we would do 2-3, think we're going on a nice roll, and then we would have to take a break for some reason, and that'd be it.
Oh.
Yeah, listen, as a man with 2 failed podcasts in my life, I'm really happy that the third one seems to be the charm at last.
Yeah. And like it's also we've been really lucky as well with the guest we've asked to come on, because I think this is only the 2nd or 3rd week out of 13 where we've had to ask multiple people if they were available. A lot of the time it's I reach out to one person and they just say, yeah, sure, I'm down to do it. I know Mega reached out to you because I had asked 2 people already and they said, yeah, I'm just not available this week, or it just didn't really work with timing. So again, thank you so much for coming on and doing this.
I was actually mid-scrim when I got that message, and I said in my scrim, I was like, guys, I'm having a podcast. it was actually with my Calling All Heroes Rising team, so it was a funny experience.
Yeah. And like going back, like, yeah, like the fact that we've had so many people that want to come on and actually talk about this stuff it is really, really fun. But it goes back to like one of the initial things was like show that there's like we do this and the people that we bring on are very passionate about doing esports production or esport or working in esports, because we've had editors on in the past, we've had producers like yourself, and you're an observer and a graphic designer. It's showing everything that's not like the actual esport itself, everything behind the scenes to try to make the players and the teams look really good. And just show how passionate those people are with this. And like we've had some incredible people on so far very early on that if we didn't stop them, we all feel like they could go for hours and hours and hours about it. And it's just been really fun to see.
Yeah, that's really cool to hear. Yeah, honestly, it's a great project. I can't wait to listen to the other episodes.
Well, hey, 13 of them now, so you got at least half a day if you watch them all in chronological order to catch up on it. And I think the first couple episodes you could definitely tell we were working out some kinks, just how to actually do it. But I feel like we're starting to really get our stride here lately.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah. All right, Hunter, Mega, anything else you guys want to say to Hannah?
You're the GOAT. You're the bomb.com.
You're the GOAT.
I want you to know, actually, fun fact, because I don't think this ever got relayed to you, but I think it's funny. For the Dreamlight thing, well, there's 2 funny things. I want to quickly end this up. Number 1, when you tagged all the casters and everybody who did it, you didn't tag me. Fun fact.
I saw your reply, and I'm so sad. My heart broke a little.
But speaking of heart, there was like one of the days that we went live that I did like a heart thing with CB. I literally paid $5 that way I could do that heart. You're welcome.
That's amazing. I love that. You're the GOAT.
No, you.
There's no way I can follow up Megalass's comment, So I'm just gonna say, it was cool to have you on because you're probably the first person, maybe first or second person on here that like I know who you are, but I don't really know much about you. Never had a conversation, so
Yeah.
this was very nice to learn a lot more about you and kind of just. I mean, it's always just fun to learn about people more doing this podcast. That's one of my favorite parts of it, quite frankly.
Yeah, it's been nice to speak to you guys again. Like I've just kind of seen you guys like around the scene. I Megalass I spoke to before, but Megalass I like just remember you from casting my games, and I was like, that's like you're so cool, and it's actually sick to like know that you also know who I am because I was just like, this is a really cool caster. I must have been ages ago that I saw you cast the first time. Like how long have you been like casting CGL?
CGL was late 2022, maybe 2023. Something
it must
like
have been
that.
around. It must have been around 2023. I think at least. I can't remember when it was. I'm gonna have to go back through like DMs with people to see if I've like sent a clip with you in it or something.
Oh gosh, no. My old cast, I hide those. I pretend they do not exist.
It was you and what's her name? Who do you cast with?
I mean, I cast with a lot of people. If it's an early on clip, it might have been K-Wing.
K-Wing, yes. Yeah, it was you two. I think there was I got a clip of you and K-Wing because like one of you calls me like a notable figure in the community, and I was like, wow, that's really cool. I'm gonna clip that. So that's my like ego boosting clip that I still have somewhere.
You've made it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was my like damn. Oh, cool.
Okay. All right, Hana, again, I want to thank you so much for coming on and being our guest this week. And thank you for
having me.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for staying up very late to do this. Like that.
Yeah, it is 1:20 in the morning. So.
Yeah, we keep getting flamed by Spec every time that we don't bring on more European people, but that's the reason why. I hate having to say like, hey, can you be up at midnight to do this?
Yeah, my sleep schedule is all over the place, to be honest, because of Calling All Heroes. So, yeah. Like, the Calling All Heroes Rising Grand Finals ended at, like, 4 a.m., so...
Yeah, and we make fun of Spec for basically being a nocturnal being.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Spectrion's sleep schedule is interesting. It might be worse than mine.
It is.
Which is saying something.
It is. It is. But hey, again, Hana, thank you so much. Hunter, Mega, thank you guys as always for being here. And that will wrap it up for episode 13. I don't think I named what episode this was at the start of it. So episode 13 of For the Love of Prod. Join us again next week when actually I know who we'll have next week. I'm not gonna make that bid.
I know.
Yeah, Mega knows. Hunter, I don't think you know. But
you told me. We had a conversation. Bud.
Okay, then everyone knows except you guys. So until then, I'll tell you once we sign off. Okay.
Let's go.
So everyone, hey, thank you so much for watching. Join us next week when we will have an incredible guest. As always, again, thank you all, and hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day or night.